This is the Fat Man's Club of New York, 1904. You had to weigh at least 200 pounds and pay a $1 fee to be a member. Barack Obama and Anthony Bourdain enjoying a $6 meal and a beer in Hanoi, Vietnam. The table they ate at was later enclosed in glass and put in display. An alignment of Earth, Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter. When Japan executes criminals by hanging, 3 wall buttons are simultaneously pressed by 3 people, so none know which of them opened the trapdoor. A size comparison of a human and a toe of the world's tallest statue, Statue of Unity, India. In Australia, a snorkeler found someone's wedding ring worn by this sand mullet fish's neck. As many as 50,000 lobotomies were performed in the US, most from 1949 to 1952, using Walter Freeman's second transorbital technique of hammering an ice pick into the corner of the eye socket and jiggling it. The survivor stairs. These stairs led underground from the World Trade Center. The people who made it down these stairs survived that day. Chris Qualley, 34, is believed to have grown the world's heaviest carrot, weighing in at 22 pounds and 40 pence. It turns out this 1681 portrait of King Charles II of Spain is a reused canvas from when he was younger. UFC champ Alex Pereira takes his belt to his tribe in Brazil. Bulk pin mold that spawned from a bowl of cat food that has been soaked in water for a few weeks. This device was used to resuscitate canaries in coal mines. This cow had an incredibly rare birth of quadruplet. Their names are Eenie, Meenie, Minnie, and Moo. A sinkhole in Turkey. More than a dozen opened up in the central Konya province due to limestone collapsing. One of the most meticulously planned photographs in my career. Here's the International Space Station, in conjunction with Tycho crater as it transited the moon last night. This Bible had a gun incorporated and could be shot pulling the bookmark while the book was closed. It belonged to Francesco Morosini, Doge of Venice in 17th century. American guards tasked with maintaining 24-hour surveillance to prisoners during the Nuremberg trials. Admiral Rickover had very unorthodox interviewing techniques. One of them involved the use of a special interview chair to put candidates off guard. The chair had the 2 front legs sawed off 6 inches short. He wanted them to maintain their wits about them while responding to his questions. Zorba, India's first dog to be deployed for tracking down poachers, has died of old age in Guwahati, Assam. Zorba was involved in anti-poaching operations and helped wildlife officials track down more than 60 poachers. Om Shanti. This apartment building in Shanghai fell over and remained nearly intact. A tribe in Papua New Guinea called the Chimbu uses skeleton body paint to intimidate enemies. The Treaty of Paris, 1783, ended the US Revolutionary War. The British delegation refused to pose at the peace conference, leaving the painting incomplete. Stock trading performance of politicians in 2022, the worst market since 2008. Members of Congress that beat SPA in 2022. Street lamp in Wrocław, Poland. Teenage Michio Kaku, right. built a 2.3 million volt particle accelerator in his parents' garage for a high school science fair in 1963. It generated a magnetic field 20,000 times more powerful than that of Earth, with particle collisions capable of creating antimatter. The thickness of this mutant banana. Giant watermelon grown in China. This is how baby hedgehogs look like. Vinyl record under 1000 times magnification. Arnold Schwarzenegger taking ballet and posing lessons from dancer Marion Claire in 1976. This remarkable photo was made by Shasta Split, BYC, Backyard Chickens, of a rooster, Jay, defending a hen against an unlucky hawk. Unfortunately, the hawk didn't survive the attack. Jay had some puncture wounds but is okay. In Polk County, Oregon, these trees were arranged into a smiley face which appears in autumn. School bus next to the whole truck. Baby ocean sunfish are about the size of a bead, while adults can grow up to 2,200 pounds. Hemipepsis obscurus, a subspecies of tarantula hawk wasp in Tanzania. Michael Jackson was known for using disguises to allow him to go out in public throughout his life. Here are some. Domino's Japan delivers to the summit of Mount Fuji. They both played in the NBA. 5 feet 3 inches, Muggsy Boggs, and 7 feet 6 inches, Yao Ming. Tick making its way through the Sahara, outside of Morocco. This life-sized sculpture of a gorilla was made with colored pencils. In response to people freaking out about 3 high pallets at the other plant, mine does 4 higher taller than 9 feet each. Kudzu vine is an invasive species native to Japan. It's known for its destruction of all other plants in the path. Winter, spring, midsummer, early fall. The Ernest Hemingway home in Key West belongs to approximately 60 polydactyl, 6-toed cats, supposedly all descendants of Hemingway's own polydactyl cat, Snow White. A recent PETA investigation into animal welfare complaints concluded, what I found was a bunch of fat, happy and relaxed cats. World's largest solar power plant. Badla Solar Power Plant, Rajasthan, India. Statue of Liberty towering over Paris, just before it was disassembled and shipped to New York, 1886. The United States accidentally dropped a nuke in North Carolina, and it was found hanging on a tree, luckily not detonated. During the French Revolution, guillotine-shaped earrings were a part of women's fashion. France and Italy share a lot of cultural features, but people often fail to grasp how centralized France is compared to how decentralized Italy is. 12 pictures of the sun taken each month at the same place and time. Q2 University allows students to wear whatever they want for their graduation ceremony. This rare 2022 photo of an African golden cat, an animal so elusive, there are still less than 5 high-resolution photographs of it in the wild. Wooden handmade truck bed. These are stray dogs just sitting, waiting for their owners, at the exit for international arrivals at Delhi Airport. In 1973, the US Army made an anti-tank grenade football by hollowing out a Nerf football and filling it with explosive charges. It was thought most American troops were familiar with how to throw a football. The pudis consist of two species of South American deer from the genus Pudu, known as the world's smallest deer. Pudis range in size from 32 to 44 centimeters, 13 to 17 inches tall, and grow up to 85 centimeters, 33 inches long. These light pillars and auroras were split on the same sky in Norway. Vantabulk, the darkest material in the world, absorbing up to 99.966% of visible light. This absolute madlad is called Bear 122, aka the boss. He's known for eating bulk bears and walked off getting hit by a train in 2010. This polar bear's breath looks like fire. Telephone tower in Sweden, used until 1913. These lions were seen relaxed on the road, as tourists don't visit during the pandemic. The amethyst mushroom is like a galaxy. Amethyst mushrooms, Eleomyxus erythra, were discovered in 1942. In order to dismissal ascospores like a glowing star, the fungi's fruiting structure splits are open. It's totally like a galaxy hidden in mushroom. Emerson Fittipaldi poses with $1,001,604 in cash after winning 1989 9500. Watchtech, the soldier bear used to eat cigarettes and drink beer directly from the bottle. Watchtech was a Syrian brown bear that was bought by the Polish army while passing through Iran. While growing up with the army, he adapted some of the habits. He used to drink coffee and liked to wrestle with them. An actual Red Rider ad from Marvel Mystery Comics 1941. Runner Lenny Moore uses San Francisco as his canvas, turning his running routes into art. Chimpanzees at a rescue center in Cameroon gathering around to see Dorothy, their friend who just passed away. Photo captured by Monica Szupida in 2008. The International Space Station crossing through the view of the sun. This 1977 photograph captures the moment that a perfectly preserved woolly mammoth mummy is unearthed near the Kalima River in Siberia. At its time of death, the cub was approximately 7 months old and died around 40,000 years ago. Researchers later nicknamed the specimen Dama. The creation of the Central Line in London, 1898. Utrecht, Netherlands. Restoration of 900-year-old moat, once turned into a motorway in the 1970s. 1968, 1983, 2015. A massive airboat with a crane, powered by 4 V8 engines I saw while fishing southern Louisiana. Satanic leaf-tailed gecko, native to Madagascar. The city of Parmanova, Italy, and its amazing geometric shape. Statue of Amida Buddha at Zenshiji Temple in Gifu, Japan, made from the remains of 25,000 people. A news article in 1999 speaks about James Cameron's Avatar, which he wanted to release in 1999. Not coming to a theater near you. You'd be surprised by how many films in Hollywood are started without ever being finished. Here's a look at a few that will probably never make it into the big screen. Avatar 1999. Great idea. After Titanic made $1 billion and won 11 Academy Awards, director James Cameron could make any movie he wanted, and this was the one he wanted to make. Set in the year 2040, Avatar follows a paralyzed war veteran named Josh on a mining expedition to the distant planet Pandora, where, through a computerized psychic link, he inhabits the body of a purple-skinned, 9-foot-tall, ammonia-breathing Pandoran. Kiss of Doom. Cameron wanted to use a cast of ultra-lifelike computer-created actors. Plus, most of the special effects needed to render Pandora would have had to be invented. Avatar's budget, a staggering $400 million. No studio would fund it, so the movie was scrapped. Located in the Maldives, Conrad Maldives Rangali Island is the world's first underwater hotel. The only geyser on the east coast of the United States is the Big Mine Run Geyser, which formed as a result of the Centralia, Pennsylvania underground mine fires. The only confirmed photograph of Vincent van Gogh. It was taken in 1873, when he was 19 years old and working for the Guppel and Sea Gallery in The Hague. My grandfather was an avid photographer his entire life. Today, he gifted us all of his old cameras. This dog isn't on fire, but covered in Harley powder to look like it's burning. Preparing for 1976 film Taxi Driver, Robert De Niro obtained a real cab driver license and worked 12 hours in a day as a cabbie for a month. This monkey was seen carrying a puppy through a park in Bangladesh. King Charles at his christening in 1948 with his great-grandmother Queen Mary, 1867 to 1953. A B-52 Stratofortress wreckage left submerged in a neighborhood lake in Hanoi, since it was shot down in the Vietnam War. 2016 sinkhole in Fukuoka City, Japan. USS Olympia, SSN 717. Crew members enjoying a swim call in the Pacific Ocean following Rim of the Pacific, RIMPAC, exercises in 2018. The pollen bees collect on coriander is purple. Macro photo of dewdrops on a spider web refracting the image of a single flower behind it. Estimated to have been carved around 200 CE, the Alexamenus graffito is widely considered to be the earliest known visual representation of the crucifixion. The Greek translates to Alexamenus worships his god. Worship of a crucified man would have been absurd and contemptible in pagan culture. The view after climbing the Eiffel Tower. Entodiridae, commonly known as the African dream herb, or snuffbox sea bean, is a large woody liana or climber of the mimosa family, Mimosaceae. The vine can grow as long as 120 meters, 393.7 feet. The ayam semani is a rare breed of chicken from Indonesia, known for its unusual outlook of being complete black. They have a dominant gene that causes hyperpigmentation, fibromyelinosis, making the chicken mostly black, including feathers, beak, and internal organs. Genetic studies have shown the Merani, Madagascar's largest ethnic group, have about 50% Asian ancestry. This is a result of a large migration from Borneo, a nation island around 4,000 miles from Madagascar. The migration occurred over a millennium before Bartholomew Dias rounded Africa's southern tip. In 1958 an atomic bomb was accidentally dropped in a backyard in South Carolina. This time it exploded, high explosives only, injuring a mother and 3 children, and shredding their house. The wardroom of the oldest fast attack submarine, SSN, in the United States Pacific Fleet, carries Richard O'Kane's personal cribbage board. Upon inactivation, the cribbage board is transferred to the next oldest SSN in the Pacific Fleet. Currently the board is in possession of USS Chicago, SSN 721. been Irish my whole life and never even knew this zodiac existed. Celtic animal zodiac. Indiana State Fair creates world's largest popcorn ball. One of the boiling pools in Yellowstone National Park is called the Congress Pool. Congress Pool. On May 15th, 1969, during new construction, USS Guerrero, SSN 665, sunk pierside at Mare Island Naval Shipyard. The cause of the sinking was the result of two test groups adjusting fore and aft trim without coordinating with each other. The sinking earned her the nickname Mare Island Mud Puppy. More than 650,000 Jeeps were built during World War II. American factories also produced 300,000 military aircraft, 89,000 tanks, 3 million machine guns, and 7 million rifles. At production peaks, some factories were producing one B-24 bomber an hour. John Scott Haldane was a Scottish scientist who experimented with dangerous gases on himself, eventually inventing the gas mask. In 15 years of conquest, Alexander the Great never lost a battle. Today he has more than 50 cities named after him, and one after his horse. 20 of these cities he conquered and named himself. A mint condition Beatles Yesterday and Today album with the original Butcher cover, with chunks of meat and doll heads, is worth over $15,000 today. At the Battle of Stalingrad, combat was so intense between the Soviets and the Germans at one point a railway station changed hands 14 times in 6 hours. The name Teddy Bear came from the US President Theodore Roosevelt. At a hunting trip, Teddy refused to shoot a tied up and a based black bear because that would be unsportsmanlike. After the event, a candy shop owner made 2 stuffed toy bears, and that is how the name came to be. Introduced to Japan following a cartoon show about a pet raccoon, agricultural damage from invasive raccoons now reaches 30 to 40 million yen annually. Up until the early 90s, appliances sold in Britain were not required to have a plug on them. If you purchased a toaster, you were expected to buy a plug and wire it in.